What's up guys, it's your favorite Kiwi coach, and give me 6 months of your time and I'll give you the best golf swing of your life. So welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new to Kiwi Golf Japan, we do a bunch of videos where we analyze PGA Tour professional golf swings. We analyze our client before and after videos. We do some fun videos like this where we're talking about your practice, exactly how to practice for the golf swing. So if you're interested in the golf swing, if you're interested in golf instruction, this is the perfect channel for you, and let's go ahead and jump in. So this particular video, we will be going over your practice. Specifically, I'm going to show you exactly how myself is going to work on my golf swing. How am I going to practice all of the nitty-gritty details that you probably don't know and the reason why you're not getting better at your golf swing. So if you're interested in practice, how to practice your golf swing, let's go ahead and jump in. But before we get into the video, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, and that is Kiwi Golf Japan. If you did not know, YouTube does not pay our bills. So if you want to help support this channel, make sure that it doesn't go away forever, well, make sure to check out the link down below after this video is over. It'll lead you to our Kiwi Platinum membership. Sign up because it really supports this YouTube channel. And now I promise you we're getting into practice. So to start this particular video out, I want to go over what are the materials you need to have a good practice with your golf swing. So first and foremost, we all have iPhones, correct? Or we have some type of smartphone. You're absolutely going to need that smartphone, and you're going to be using your camera app that hopefully has slow-mo. Now, once you have your iPhone, ideally, if you could, maybe even have an iPad like we have over here. This iPad is going to have a much bigger screen, so when you're analyzing your golf swing, it'll make it much easier to see all the tiny little details that you're trying to see. But if you don't have an iPad and you do have an iPhone or a smartphone, download some type of app that you can analyze your golf swing. We typically currently use Coach's Eye at the moment. I don't know if you guys can see that. You'll see a little bit later, but make sure you have that as well. Last and not least, behind the camera right here, we actually have our tripod for the day. That's going to be Kazuyuki-san. But if you guys don't have someone to help support your practice, go get yourself a tripod as well. We just didn't bring mine because I'm lazy. I apologize, but yeah. Now that you have all the stuff that you possibly need, maybe get some coffee too as well, let's go ahead and start working on my golf swing. So now that we have all of our fancy equipment, it's time to get into step number 1, which is going to be getting your initial swing. If you want to work on your golf swing, well, you got to video it first and figure out what the hell is going on with my golf swing. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing right now. And we're going to have our tripod behind us and take a video of me swinging, and I'm going to get my initial swing. Now, some things I would recommend before you get your initial swing, first off, is warm up, right? You don't want your first swing of the day to be your initial swing. Make sure you're warm, make sure that you feel like you're swinging okay, and then from there you can get your initial swing. So what I'm going to go do right now is, because I haven't hit any shots yet, let me hit about maybe 1 to 3 shots real quick. Then we'll get our initial swing. We'll take a look at the analyzing app over there, and we'll see what the hell is wrong with the Kiwi Coach's swing. Let me go hit a few shots. So now, like I said, I'm going to hit these initial 3 shots, and really the main purpose for me is I'm just trying to get loose. If you guys want to hit a lot more than 3 shots to get loose, that's completely fine. This is YouTube. I don't want to bore you guys, so I'm just going to make it 3 shots for myself. Oh. Feeling loose and ready to go, let's get my initial swing. So right now I'm going to be getting my initial swing, guys. So the main purpose of this, when I'm actually doing this, is I'm not necessarily trying to have a conscious thought of maybe exaggerating emotion. I'm trying to make a swing that has little to minimal thought, something that would be like I would be swinging on the course. Main focus here, just try to swing with some rhythm. And then from there, we're going to see exactly what the swing looks like when there's not really too much thought about the swing. So let me go try to do that. All right, there we go. Let's go analyze. Now, once you've got your initial swing, it's time to actually start to analyze it. And this is why I personally like to have the iPad every single time I practice, because when you analyze your golf swing on the iPhone, sometimes the screen is so small, it's difficult to see all the little tiny details. But again, maybe it's just a little bit of a luxury. Some of you guys out there don't want to have the iPad there for whatever reason, but I highly recommend it. Let's go take a look at my golf swing now. And the purpose of the analyzing phase is I want to pick anywhere from 1 to 3 things to work on in this particular practice. Now, if you start to get more than 3 things, I think that's a little bit too much. Now, some of you guys out there who do have a very good, skill of managing lots of things at once, you can maybe go more than 3 points. But for me personally, I found 3 points is optimal for me. And then most of my clients, anywhere from 1 to 3 points is also optimal for them. So let's go play the swing through one more time and take a look without really analyzing. All right, so that's the current swing right there. And let me go into the first point that I typically look at in my own personal golf swing. And for my clients, you guys should probably all know the points that you typically should start looking at. If you guys are watching this and you don't know what points you should be looking at, maybe go check out our P1 through P10 checkpoint webinars. And you'll get a really good understanding of a lot of checkpoints that you could be looking for. So this one that I'm currently looking at is going to be from position 2 to the top of the swing. I'm trying to see the hands move at a specific angle, and this current one's right around 17 degrees, which is a little bit too vertical for my opinion. I want to see the arms closer to around 20 degrees, 25 degrees is kind of the range. I'm going to have to probably feel something much flatter than that to actually get this, which we'll get to here in a second. But that's kind of the checkpoint I'm looking for. So this will be the first project or the first point I'm trying to change. Where are the hands moving towards the top of the swing? Now, the next thing that I see at the top of the swing that I'm not really a fan of right now is the overall club shaft position relative to the arm. So I want to see the club shaft more so this way, where it's kind of aligned to the forearm and not really off to the side. This would be a little bit too laid off for my preference. If you want to be really specific, I like to draw an angle on the club shaft and then put this other line right here through the forearm. And again, this is over at 146 degrees. We want to see it much closer to 180 degrees, right, which would be something like this. And then if you're within a 10-degree variance, so if I was like 170, that's not a big deal. If I was a little bit over here, not so big of a deal. But over here at 146 degrees, that's a little bit too laid off for my liking. I definitely want to fix that. But I'm going to change the arm position first and then see what happens to the club shaft. If the club shaft still looks a little too laid off, I'll work on it. But if the club shaft actually fixes itself, I'm definitely not going to work on it. All right, so the last thing I'd like to look at is I'd like to draw a little line right here on the toe line. And what I'm trying to see is as the hands start to come down, from position 6 into position 8, which would be when the club shaft is parallel to the ground right here, I should see the whole grip in on the inside part of this line. And ideally, I'd like to see the grip in much more over here actually, and then see the club shaft kind of looking more something like this. So I've definitely had a little bit of a flip through this section right here, as well as the overall path of the hands have moved way too far out to the right. This is a very common thing that I always struggle with when I don't work on my golf swing. So that'll be the last project that I'm going to be working on. But I do think that this project typically gets a lot easier to fix once I fix the first project, which is going to be the P2 through P4. So now the next step is I need to pick one of those projects and then start to work on it, which I'm going to be picking the project 1, which is going to be the takeaway to the top of the swing movement. But the question is, how the hell do I work on this? Well, if you're asking yourself that question, we have created a very interesting PDF for you guys, and let's go ahead and take a look at it over here. So this PDF right here is going to be called our Feel versus Real check sheet, and it's going to be the exact PDF that we use to be able to change the look of the golf swing, and specifically in this example, change the way the hands move from position 2 to position 4. So the first step to this check sheet is you need to first figure out what are you trying to change, and for us that's going to be that hand movement from position 2 to position 4. Once you have established that and you know the correct checkpoint parameters, which for us is going to be 20 to 25 degrees in that section, you need to understand what is the approach. So come back over here and let's take a look at what is the approach in this particular example. So in this particular example, the approach is, if I get to position 2 and I can imagine a little bit of a y-axis here, x-axis here, and if I get the arms to move maybe somewhere closer to the x-axis than it was before, that is going to directly change what I'm trying to change, right? So the approach is, really, if I can move this arm across the body a little bit more, that will get me closer to the 20-25 degree number than it was before. So the approach typically is, what is the direct body part? What is the direct motion that is going to change what we are trying to change? So that's the approach. Let's go back one more time, we're not done. The next part to this is, and I'm gonna skip down all the way over here, is going to be the how much. So I am trying to move that arm more across my body, but how much of that am I trying to do? So in this particular example, going back to the YX axis, I'm going to try to get my arm to move much closer to the X axis than the Y axis, right? Because I want my arm flatter at the top. So for me, feeling wise, I'm going to feel like it's really close to the X axis. So I'm going to feel like maybe close to an 80% flat feeling. And that's going to be the how much I'm trying to occur and try to do there. From here, I want to start that image after the takeaway has completed, so I'm not going to do it right away. I want to peak out at the full flatness right around kind of position 3 image, or basically halfway back. I feel like I'm going to get the most flat. And then from there, in terms of holding amount, I'm not necessarily going to try to hold that. So let me go show you that visually really quick, and I think this should make a whole lot more sense. So to explain that one more time, I do not want to start the motion right away and get the arms moving this far inside right away. That would not be what I want to do. So I do want to have a normal takeaway and get into the correct P2 here, but then from here I want to start that flatter image than I had before, and then right when my arms get parallel to the ground, I want to feel like I reach that full amount, and I'm also going to feel like the swing pretty much stops here as well. Then from here, I'm not going to try to hold my arms in this position as I start down, because I don't want the hands too far behind me. So all I'm trying to do is get the P2, start, reach it right around here, and then from there try to feel like I have a normal down swing. And if I can do that, most likely I'm going to be able to change the look that I'm trying to change, right? Which is the P2 to P4. So let me go ahead and try that. I'm going to start out with some slower motion swings, and then from there I'll try some faster swings and see what happens. All right, that's it for you guys on YouTube, but before you guys click off the video, let me give some quick wrap-up points. So when it comes to practicing the golf swing, I think the most important point is make sure you have a very similar setup that we had in this video. Have your iPhone, have your iPad, have a tripod, have an analysis software. If you don't have that and you're not videoing your golf swing, well, you don't know if you're getting better or not. Then some other little subtle hints in here that are really important. Make sure your video is in slow motion, because if it's not in slow motion, you can't really see your golf swing. And then other than that, make sure about the part where we went over the feel versus real check sheet, make sure to go through that a few times and really look at it and try to figure out, how does this differ from what I'm currently doing? Am I just doing some random drill that some YouTube instructor made me do? Probably. This is a much better way to actually change the look of your golf swing. Now, if you're still struggling with this, well, that's where the Kiwi Coach 6-month program comes into play. So check that out, visit our website. We'd love to have you and help you out with the 6-month program. Also, if you want to watch the full video of this, make sure to check out the Kiwi Platinum membership, sign up. It supports this YouTube channel. And plus, you're going to get access to over 280 of videos, and we post 20 videos every single month to that site. So it's a great value. Check it out. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video.